This is TechCrunch. Igor Babuschkin, a co-founder of Elon Musk's xAI startup, announced his departure from the company on Wednesday in a post on X. Babuschkin led engineering teams at xAI and helped build the startup into one of Silicon Valley's leading AI model developers just a few years after it was founded. Babuschkin said, "Today was my last day at xAI, the company that I helped start with Elon Musk in 2023. I still remember the day I first met Elon. We talked for hours about AI and what the future might hold. We both felt that a new AI company with a different kind of mission was needed." Babuschkin is leaving xAI to launch his own venture capital firm, Babuschkin Ventures, which he says will support AI safety research and back startups that advance humanity and unlock the mysteries of our universe. The xAI co-founder says he was inspired to start the firm after a dinner with Max Tegmark, the founder of the Future of Life Institute, in which they discussed how AI systems could be built safely to encourage the flourishing of future generations. In his post, Babuschkin says his parents immigrated to the US from Russia in pursuit of a better life for their children. Babuschkin's departure comes after a tumultuous few months for xAI, in which the company became engrossed in several scandals related to its AI chatbot Grok. For instance, Grok was found to cite Musk's personal opinions when trying to answer controversial questions. In another case, xAI's chatbot went on anti-Semitic rants and called itself Mecha Hitler. Most recently, xAI unveiled a new feature in Grok that allowed users to make AI-generated videos resembling nude public figures, such as Taylor Swift. These scandals have at times overshadowed the performance of xAI's models, which are state-of-the-art on several benchmarks compared to AI models from OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Anthropic. Prior to co-founding xAI, Babuschkin was part of a research team at Google DeepMind that pioneered AlphaStar in 2019, a breakthrough AI system that could defeat top-ranked players at the video game StarCraft. Babuschkin also worked as a researcher at OpenAI in the years before it released ChatGPT. In his post, Babuschkin details some of the challenges he and Musk faced in building up xAI. He notes that industry veterans called xAI's goal of building its Memphis, Tennessee supercomputer in just 3 months impossible. xAI was able to build its AI supercomputer in record time. However, environmentalists warn that the temporary gas turbines powering the cluster are pumping out emissions into neighboring communities and exacerbating their long-standing health issues. Nevertheless, Babuschkin says he's already looking back fondly on his time at xAI and feels like a proud parent driving away after sending their kid away to college. Babuschkin said, "I learned 2 priceless lessons from Elon. 1, be fearless in rolling up your sleeves to personally dig into technical problems. And 2, have a maniacal sense of urgency." Riding in the back of a Waymo that's autonomously navigating the busy streets of San Francisco and doing so with relative ease thanks to 29 external cameras, 6 radar, and 5 lidar sensors, all feeding into an AI model is nice. For just $15, you get to experience what feels like a miracle of modern technology. And yet, there's a nagging thought you can't shake. The music sucks in here. Waymo's music streaming feature has felt like an aged barnacle attached to a futuristic shell. Until this week, passengers were limited to a few music stations that played lo-fi beats, smooth jazz, K-pop, or other genres they may or may not care for. For those who wanted to listen to something more specific, they had to use another app from Waymo's parent company, Alphabet. For iPhone users, that meant downloading the Google Assistant app and configuring it to connect to Spotify. At that point, you had to ask Google Assistant through written or verbal commands to stream certain songs, artists, or playlists. Even if you get to this point, at which you may be halfway to your destination and have listened to approximately 3 lo-fi beats, the service didn't work reliably. As you rode along in a robo-taxi full of cutting-edge technology, you may be puzzled why Waymo had not figured out a simple way to stream music from my phone into the car's speakers, a breakthrough that automakers and audio manufacturers figured out a couple of decades ago. This week, Waymo launched a Spotify integration, allowing users to seamlessly link the music streaming and robo-taxi hailing services. I immediately connected the services and hailed a Waymo to see how it would work. Waymo's Spotify integration is nothing groundbreaking, but it adds to the user experience. It works seamlessly, which is roughly what you might expect when trying to play music on your car's speakers in 2025. But riding around in a Waymo, listening to your own playlist, or picking up where you left off on a podcast, the backseat of the robotaxi feels more like your own space, which is increasingly the reason folks are opting for a Waymo. Apple Music users will want to stream their music and podcasts in Waymos as well. Waymo spokesperson Chris Benelli told TechCrunch the company is always exploring new personalization options, but did not clarify when the company might add an Apple Music integration. Once your Waymo and Spotify accounts are linked, select Spotify on Waymo's touchscreen. You can also use Waymo's touchscreen to select from a variety of customized playlists that Spotify users will be familiar with, such as your Daylist or other mixes. However, this selection doesn't seem to include albums, audiobooks, or podcasts that you've recently listened to. In the end, the Spotify integration will probably make your robotaxi feel more personalized. You can even tweak the bass, subwoofer, and treble levels in the car's speakers. That personalization may not be the main attraction for first-time users, but it could keep them coming back. And a loyal customer base is exactly what Waymo needs. That's it from TechCrunch. For more tech stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.